Just be curious and just take action. That's it. Or just feed into your own curiosity. Like, why are you interested in this thing? Think about it. Really just saturate yourself with it. Like, even if you like are interested in it, take action. Like, make it happen. If you feel that you can't make it happen, I mean, just be curious, right? So like, how can we make this like thing happen? I think it's really important.
Shane Allen, welcome to Produce Your Passion.
Dude, happy to be here.
From Tokyo, I might add.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. Living out in Tokyo now.
And I have to
It's sunny
give,
out right now.
yeah. What's the weather like out there?
Oh, it's beautiful today. A little crispy, but yeah, sunny.
Beautiful. Well, I'm gonna be there in person one day, one way or another. And I have to start this podcast out appropriately. You can see the
Hmm.
sign in the background. You can see the Produce Your Passion on my sweatshirt and on the mug. That was designed by you.
Oh, there we go.
So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah, fully
giving you,
branded out.
yeah, one of many logos that Shane has created
Mhm.
for me through his company, Carmela Vision, which we're going to get to. So, yeah, man, I just want to get right into it. So, Shane, who are you and what do you do?
Yeah, yeah. It's like, where to even begin? Yeah. My name's Shane. I'm from originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I moved out to Tokyo about 6 years ago. So I do like a lot of web design, creative work, making videos, like content, doing branding as well. I like just creating a bunch of things. So it's really hard to define exactly what I do, but yeah, I just make visual solutions for people.
You have made many visual solutions for me, well over a decade now.
Yeah. Yeah, we go way back. Yeah.
So no, this is a great experience because I know with you you've produced many passions. So my next follow up question is that what is your produce your passion story and what
Mhm.
passions have you produced? I know you have produced several. So if you wanted to take us
Right,
along
right.
that journey.
Man. Yeah, where to begin? I mean, I pay my bills through, yeah, creating, websites for, people, just marketing solutions. But I think, yeah, it goes way back when I was like just a kid. Like I was just like in third grade, second grade class, and like I was like always the one who was drawing into my class, and like I used to be really good at drawing Pokemon. And then like I just like had like, my friends around me just like, oh yeah, can you draw me one? So I just draw people, draw for people, draw for people. They're our favorite Pokemon, right? There's like 151 at the time. But then everybody was just like flooding me. So I was just like, man, like, what can I do? And so like somebody said, I'll give you $1 if you like just draw me a Pikachu, which was like just a ton of money to me like at the time, right? So yeah, like from there, like, people would just kind of make these like kind of small requests and again, like I was just doing it for fun, but it was just kind of cool. Like I could buy candy and stuff like that. But I mean, yeah, creativity has always been like a part of my life. Like my parents have always pushed me like in that direction and, putting me in art classes and, eventually, yeah, like I wound up just trying it out for myself and like just trying to make a business out of it.
So,
Yeah, but not even just business, it's just kind of like a part of my life, right? So, yeah, how can I just like, move into the direction of living this lifestyle, but also like, being able to support myself. So,
and that led you to Carmelo Vision.
yeah, where did Carmelo Vision come out of? Yeah, I think a great question. So, yeah, I think Carmelo Vision originally, it's kind of interesting. Like I'm half black and half white. So yeah, like I've always kind of just been like in this kind of like, mix of things, growing up with my mom's side and my dad's side. And I think I was just like always like just kind of gravitating to identity and like, just like, what's my identity? But then also becoming like really curious and like, other people's identities. And yeah, I think it's kind of like the ignition, right? So like, I was just always curious about culture and just like what makes cultures tick and, like how do people express themselves and things like this. So I think eventually, oh, that's right. Yeah. So then I came to Japan at one point, and people would often ask me, like, like, what are you? You know, like, are you like white, black, Japanese, African, whatever. But I was just like, oh, I'm Carmelo. So yeah, kind of like just like this idea of just like I'm a mix of things. And um, yeah, I just Carmelo became Carmelo Vision. Carmelo was like a nickname that people just gave to me. And then like I just kind of transformed it into like my whole like, perspective on life.
Dope. And and out of that, I mean, like you've already listed with Carmela Vision. I mean, it started out
Hmm.
primarily with logos, right? That's really what you
Yeah.
started primarily. And then it's
Hmm.
incredible to have watched your journey of what all graphically you've evolved into. I mean, like for example, just
Yeah.
to talk about some of the work we've done, because aside from graphics, you also build websites. Amazing
Yeah.
websites, by the way. You've built several of
Oh,
mine.
thank you.
And I remember having that conversation with you. You're just like, yeah, casually, like, yeah, no, I can build websites. And then, like, I saw your work. I'm like,
Yeah.
holy cow, man! Like, so it's been cool to watch that evolution. Could you maybe talk a little bit about that, like how you've evolved?
Hmm.
Like, was that like when you first started Carmela Vision? Did you have this long term vision
Hmm.
for it, or you're like, you know what, I'm just going to start doing stuff?
I think it's like I'm just gonna start doing stuff. So like, yeah, I had moved to Vegas, yeah, from Japan. I was like living here like a long time ago. I moved to Las Vegas, and I really just want to like, learn as much as I can about design. Like I'm just like fascinated by magazines. I'm fascinated watching movies and just like the visual effects of like music videos and like I and I just like have just like a difficult time sticking to one thing. So I think I just absorbed so much at the time that yeah, like I joined like a how do you say like an internship at one point, like just a branding identity studio. The studio is called Identity in Las Vegas. And yeah, just like seeing how they did things, like somebody would request a business card, or then they would request a logo, but the logo comes with a business card. The business card comes with a website, and just like watching like this, my mentor at the time just kind of take these requests and just like kind of like expand their mind and like more of like the directions that they could go, right? So I thought that was just kind of cool. Like, it's not only just like a logo; it's kind of like it's an expression. Like it just can be applied to so many different things, and I just really wanted to try that for myself, just like to help people.
Yeah. And then you also have another passion I know you've produced, 1 minute stories.
Mhm.
Can you tell us a little bit about that
Right.
and how that came to be?
Yeah. 1 minute stories. Yeah. Like, actually, that was interesting because like it was just me and three guys back in Milwaukee, and we're all looking for agency jobs at the time. Like, one guy's like real cool with like the words, really good with copywriting. One guy's really good with just storytelling, and I have like the visuals, and so yeah, we're just having a really difficult time just trying to find a job. And then so we just thought, yeah, wouldn't it be cool to just like, interview, I don't know, marketing directors at different agencies and just kind of figure out like what the barriers are, like, 'cause, they're kind of like gatekeepers in a sense, right? So through that, because we just want to like, help ourselves and just like, try to get an agency job, but like really just like kind of just breaking down, people's creative passions, like, people's like, creative direction, like what makes a creative director a director, and just trying to understand. But like through like these conversations initially, it was just like, we just thought of so many different things like, oh, well, how about we just try to like, help, young creators just, get that kind of like leg up into the industry, right? And like, how do we even connect like people in the industry with, people who are looking for a job? And like, even from aside from that too, just like, how do we just connect creatives together and just, make this sort of community to bring people together and like, do work together because yeah, at the time too, sending out your resume to like these places, like you send your resume and it just kind of feels like a stale process, right? Sometimes like you upload it, like you upload your PDF and like they ask you to fill all this stuff out. And it's just like, I don't know, there's like no connection, right? So it's just like, I really want to work with somebody. How can we just like, link up online? And I've watched that happen, right? Like I would just shoot like a director, I would shoot like a creative, and I'd watch them like in the comments kind of interact and then like find out that they like later worked on a project. And I thought it was like really cool just to kind of watch like this kind of organic, you know, conversation happen. So yeah, 1 minute stories really is just like, conversation, just, brainstorming together, coming together.
And I got to point this out for people that are watching and listening. You were doing 1 minute
Hmm.
stories before Reels, before actual
Yeah.
Instagram stories, and TikTok was even around. So
Yeah. Yeah.
you literally were ahead of the curve on seeing the future on how do we get as much information as possible in 1 minute. You were doing that
Yeah.
before anyone was doing that. Seriously.
It's nuts.
And now
It's
it's the
nuts.
most popular thing ever.
Right, 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 right. Yeah, I mean, it was just really cool, right? Because just like we're online. I mean, even at the time, what, 10 years ago, I mean, we're still just scrolling and scrolling, but like really, like how do you just condense just a bunch of information into just like a short bite? Because, I don't want to waste the other person's time. I just want to share something, just share a story, just like a small snippet and like, leave it up to you to like have that conversation with them to if you want to like learn more, which I thought was cool.
And I want to move on to one more passion I know you've produced because I think you have a very unique experience in the world is you produced your passion of moving to another country, Japan. Because I talk about that and
Oh
produce your
yeah.
passion. Like even if people don't want to be entrepreneurs or artists,
Mhm.
producing your passion's just following that truth and making it come to life, bringing that vision to reality. So
Right.
can you just talk a little bit on like how like the inspiration to move to Japan like you did?
And the inspiration, yeah. Yeah, it goes back to high school. Yeah, it seems like everything just kind of goes back, right? Yeah, so I was in high school and like yeah, I was just not a good student, like, just getting really terrible grades and stuff. And like I was taking Japanese at the time. And I mean, of course, initially I was interested in Japanese because like I had I think what some Pokemon cards, right? They were like written in Japanese, but I felt like the characters like look so beautiful, right? Like, oh man, like you can actually just like write this. Like I want to be able to write my name, like in the script and just like, starting seeing it like on different places and stuff like that. And I just want to be able to read it. And I think, yeah, my Japanese teacher at the time really saw that I was just kind of like, this interest, this spark in me. So he just sat me down one day. He's just like, hey, like, you're doing terrible in my class. Like, let's just be real. Like, how you do in this class is just kind of a reflection on like, how you think, about everything else, like how you move as a person, right? So yeah, from there, like, I just kind of went home, like this kind of cliche thinking about it and, just went in the next day, challenged myself. And like, I started getting like just like straight A's in my class, like, way ahead of my class. Like I was just like reading, studying the alphabet. How do I learn all this stuff as much as possible? So yeah, I was like way ahead of my class. And he saw that. And like, he saw that I was putting in the reps, saw that I was putting in the work. And then he just said, hey, like, you want to go to Japan? Like, I got you with like these like two scholarships. You could just like fill these out and like you can get like a free chance, free trip to Japan. Like one to study abroad and like one to like work at like at a camp, like an English camp. And so like I'm looking at this thing, I'm applying for both. I got accepted to both. So yeah, from there, I was like, shit, let me just choose this one. So I studied abroad in the beginning, had an amazing host family. Being in Japan kind of like just like, redefined my life. I'm like meeting new people, having new experiences. And I'm like, fuck, I really want to come back and visit them. And then so I applied to like that other program that he sent me the year prior, got accepted to that too. And then so yeah, just I started going like every summer, like helping out doing teaching English. And yeah, it kind of just became a part of my life. And then I became really interested in exploring Japan, seeing new places. And yeah, like meeting so many people, eating so many different types of food, just chilling. I was partying at the time too. So I mean, like there's like a mix of that too. Just having fun, enjoying life. And yeah, I just kind of opened my eyes into like a whole new way to like kind of just view the world creatively, just even with, like myself. So it just become part of my life.
What made you make that like this? Was there a direct moment where you're like, you know what, I'm gonna move there, or was it just kind of naturally happened?
Yeah, I'd say it kind of just naturally happened. Like, it's not, in the beginning, it was like something like, I just thought, can I do this? And like, yeah, of course I can do this. And so I just, put my mind to it. If it was just like writing these essays to get like these scholarships or whatnot, I was just like determined to just like, fly out, just try it out. I think that just drive to just try it out, like, just kind of motivated me to really just do it. And yeah, here I am.
I love that. Just try it out. Because what's the worst that can happen, right? It's like,
Yeah,
oh, I tried it, didn't like it. Like,
right.
I'm back.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah, yeah.
okay, you've already talked. You launched Carmela Vision. You created 1 minute
Mhm.
stories. You moved to Japan. What are some of the obstacles that you've encountered on any of these passions? Because we know that this stuff
Obstacles,
isn't
yeah.
easy.
Mhm. Right,
Whether it
right,
was
right.
financial, whether it was mental, whether it was emotional, what obstacles
Mhm.
have you faced? And I'll pair it with another question: how did you overcome that obstacle? You don't have to name them all, but like, is there one or two that come to mind
Yeah.
that have been some of your biggest challenges as you've produced these passions?
I mean, I guess to combine it a bit, like, of course I wanted to get into like, web design and, work for a creative agency. And on the other hand, like I really wanted to like live in Japan too, right? So the first time I came to Japan, like I worked for like, teaching English to people, or just like teaching as an English teacher. And then after I quit my job, I really wanted to just move to Tokyo. But, you know, I'm in Japan, I'm already living here, like I'm already on visa. I'm applying to jobs in Tokyo. I'm not getting anything. And I'm just like, ah, damn, they're just like telling me things like you don't speak Japanese enough, or they just, or just like it's like kind of gray, static, you have no idea what's going on, right? So I'm just like, shit, what do I do? I mean, I don't know. Do I like just like drive up there and like live out of my car or something like that? But yeah, I think the obstacle kind of just showed itself, and it's just like, yeah, I need more experience. Like, I need to like understand, like, how I can creatively give back to people. Like, I really need to understand what project is. So yeah, I actually flew back to my hometown. And, I kind of felt like a little lost in the beginning, like, ah, shit, I have to kind of restart from scratch here if I want to get back there, right? So yeah, as I'm back home, you know, of course, my family's welcoming, but, I'm just making deep-rooted connections in the community. I'm getting involved, throwing myself out there. And then, like, from that, just like getting the experience, like learning a lot more. And then eventually my friend just like, calls me up and says, hey, I've been like, watching your Instagram. Like I see you post like so much. Like I see you that, you're just really creative. Like we're looking for a designer like at our company in Tokyo. Like, can you fly out for an interview? So yeah, I'm just like, fuck yeah. And I'm like, it's crazy even for that too. Like I didn't really have much money at the time too, right? Like I'm broke, I'm just trying to like just like get by like on this creative shit. So yeah, like my friend works for Delta. She's like, I'll give you a buddy pass. And like, I have this buddy pass. I'm thinking, okay, I just go to the airport, I can fly out immediately. No, like I'm in the fucking airport. Oh, yeah, sorry if I can't curse. So I'm just in the airport and like I'm on the buddy pass, right? If you're familiar with a buddy pass, like just you just fly like the lowest priority. So everybody else boards the flight and then you get on like last. So yeah, I missed at least, I don't know, 5 to 10 flights, like just like flying out of Chicago. And then I finally make it to like Atlanta where I can like, try to get a chance to fly to Tokyo. They're denying me. So I fly to like Detroit. I fly back to Atlanta and like, just like putting like on a waiting list, like, for all these different flights. And like, it's like 3 days in, and I'm just kind of like bummed out, like, fuck, I really have to get to Tokyo. And like, I call my uncle, and my uncle's just like, yeah, if you want to make it happen, just make it happen. As simple as that. So, yeah, luckily in Atlanta, like my family was there, like my grandparents were there, so I stayed with them and just hanging out with them and like just going to the airport every day, just waiting for my chance to fly out. And like on this third day, finally, like I see my name, like on the screen, and I'm like, fuck, fly out to Tokyo, have my interview, fucking crush it. And like, yeah, it was good. So that's how I got my previous job.
I love that story.
So
What a story of resilience. And it's almost like the universe was testing
mhm,
you of how bad do you really want this? Like how, you know what
exactly.
I mean?
It really felt like that.
And I'm really glad you shared about you having to go back home, but it sounds like you had a good
Mhm,
attitude about it. Some people might be like, oh man, I'm going back to my hometown. But I mean, that's correct me if I'm
mhm.
wrong. Your hometown's where you created 1 minute stories,
Right,
right?
right,
So
right,
it's
right.
all
Yep.
connected. It reminds me of The Alchemist, and
Yeah,
the
that's a
boy,
great book.
yeah, the boy trying to find his treasure. One of my favorite parts of it is when he has to go work in a glass shop for a year, just so he can save enough
Right,
money to keep going. You know,
right, right, right.
but it's like it's leading
That's
you to the
exactly it.
yeah. Wow, I didn't know that story. That's incredible, man.
Oh, for real? Yeah,
And
yeah,
then you also touch on, we talk about produce your passion, swallowing your pride, like swallowing your pride, and
yeah.
dude, I've been in the same boat several times. A lot of times we don't have any money, but it's like, okay, how can we make this work? How can we make this
Right.
happen? So I
It's
love
just all
that.
about learning about this and like just like, trying to just dance with it, just trying to flow with it, Like obstacles are always gonna be thrown our way, right? But like how do we interpret it? Like how do we just like, move past it? How do we learn from it? You know,
What,
life will always test you.
yeah, no, no, I love that you shared that and just bringing it to present day. What's the current obstacle you deal with the most right now? Is it financial? Is it
Yeah.
emotional? Is it
Yeah.
mental? Any one of those areas?
Yeah. Yeah. Mm, yeah, that's a good question. What is the current obstacle? Yeah. I mean, I could say financial to a degree, but I think it's just time. Like just like really just properly like learning how to manage my time and also just spending the time too to just like learn what the next move should be because sometimes I can get really caught up in like all the projects that I'm working on, which is great. But I know deep down like I want to do more and like maybe I might have to try to like work with other people like maybe hire on more people, stuff like this to just like work on bigger projects because yeah, while I enjoy what I do, I still kind of want to do a little bit more. And but like, just how to like, I don't know, make the vision bigger than myself in a sense. I don't know, just to work with like community to bring something to light. I kind of feel like right now is my obstacle and just making the time for it. So
You're spot on. Like it's amazing. I don't know if it's the older we get, just the quick. Well, I think the quicker
mhm.
time does go, but it's it's amazing how quickly a day will go by. Like okay, I
Yeah.
got this time to do this time to do this time to do this, and it's great to be organized. But I'm finding, man, if one thing throws off the schedule, like it will just derail
Yeah.
everything. So
Yes. Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah, yeah.
especially in an age where we're all so distracted and our focus just isn't as strong probably.
Right, right,
I'll
right.
speak personally, just get on the digital devices even if you're doing quote unquote work for the
Yeah,
project, it's still taking
right.
up your brain space, your energy and your focus and your attention.
And we do like, social work too, right? Just like things on social. So it's just like, yeah, I'm researching. Okay, yeah, I'm kind of getting caught up like in this like loop. Okay, I need to stop at some point. All right, stop, focus, and get back to, creating.
I love
So
that. I love that, man. Well,
it happens.
no, I really appreciate you sharing that. And one of the final questions I have before we get to the end here is, what advice would you give to anyone trying to produce their passions, whether it's someone that maybe they're interested in
Hmm.
design, maybe
Hmm.
they want to do a little video series on social media, or maybe they want to move to a different country like you did, or maybe
Right.
something unrelated. What advice would you give to someone who's trying to produce their passions?
Man, yeah. That's a good one. Um, really, I mean, just be curious and just take action. That's it. I mean, have the curiosity to just like, or just feed into your own curiosity. Like, why are you interested in this thing? Think about it, really just saturate yourself with it. Like, even if you like are interested in it, take action, like, make it happen. But, if you feel that you can't make it happen, I mean, just be curious, right? So like, how can we make this like thing happen? I think yeah, it's really important. Yeah.
I love that.
Curiosity doesn't have to
Curious.
kill the cat.
Curiosity and take action. I love it. Well, Shane, thank you so much for doing this and coming on. Again, shout out to you for creating the Produce Your Passion logo.
There we go. Let's go.
No,
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
you do
Love
phenomenal
it.
work. It's you're a brother, you're an amazing creative collaborator, and I look forward to the things we will continue to produce together in the future. And
Oh,
if
absolutely.
if people want to get a hold of you, check out your work with you, how can people get in contact? Where should they go?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, just Carmela Vision at Carmela Vision. So two L's, CARMELLO Vision. Yeah, you can find me like on all the socials.
And website too, right?
A website as well. Yeah, yeah, CarmelaVision.com. Yep, and
Perfect.
Instagram at Carmela Vision, Facebook at Carmela Vision on there, Gmail at Carmela Vision. So
Awesome. You
yeah,
good for
reach
you.
out,
Good for you for securing that online real estate.
curate it. So yeah, of
I love it.
course, of course.
Shane, thank you so much. We'll be talking and producing together soon, brother.
Awesome. Yep. Thank you.
All right. See you. Thank you for tuning in. To learn more, go to produceyourpassion.com.